Well, today is Wednesday. Whoops. Today is Wednesday. I didn't have my mic up here, darn it. I'm going to try to get through here quickly. I spent some time looking at some other channels out there, and boy, did I see a lot of nasty remarks. Just people, boy, they get mad at each other. And they're mad at me, some of them. There's a guy out there in California, he had several on there that were talking about me, and they don't know me as far as I know, they don't. But just to let that guy know, I put 3 years in the service, and I was honorably discharged after 3 years, and then I spent 3 years in inactive reserve. I received an honorable discharge at that time. Now, supposedly you stand up for veterans. You let people like that talk about a veteran on there, and we have opposing views, I guarantee you that, you and I do. And there's nothing wrong with us having a difference of opinion. And I don't know why you let people like that talk about veterans, but all this time I thought you were for the veterans, and I can see right now that may not be true, because in my views, you don't wish to stand up for a veteran that stood up for our country, for our rights of freedom of speech, for our rights to carry weapons. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you don't. I'm just sorry you don't. And that's too bad. You're on their side of the country and you picked up on a guy and you didn't check his background out. And all you know is, well, I don't know what you know now to think about it. Here, I was going to put words and thoughts in your head. And that's one thing I'm against. Well, anyway, regardless of that, you do your thing your way, and I'm going to do mine my way. But I am on here to plug a shout out to Two Peas in a Pod. I want you all that come in here to go over there and listen a little bit to them, because they're going to talk about things that they have documentation on. They got the real paper up there, and they're going to show it to you. It's the real deal, or else we'll have witnesses that actually know what they're talking about. And they're doing their homework. And they've been hard at work at it. They work 24 hours a day at it in one way or the other. Gator's on there, and he has firsthand experience with this creator down there that swooped into this little town down in Florida. That guy, I guess he don't particularly care for Gator anymore. That's too bad. Like the lawyer down there that's trying to help this poor little old gal down there. They call him Bruce the Deuce. Used to be Double Deuce. It's kind of an inside joke for those people down there. They like to joke a lot. They call people names. They got one out there. Call him the Con, another one the Sus. They got another one they call Biscuit. These are all people down there. He just gets on a roll and he makes up names and just puts them out there for the public. You want to know the best part of it is, or the hard part? People like me end up using that same name if we listen to that channel long enough. That stuff gets into you. He has brainwashed a lot of followers, and they use those names just indiscriminately over and over and over. They call that little town down there Otter Creek with 2 D's. It's supposed to be Otter Creek with 2 T's after that little funny animal called an otter. There's an Otter Creek down there. The town is named after it. The name has quite a background. It used to have quite a few railroads. It was known for its wood. It's known for its wood shop. It's almost like a story of a carpetbagger coming down after a World War II, or no, I mean Civil War. World War II. Civil War. Let's see, what were carpetbaggers back there? They took advantage of the Southern boys. Took what was left over. Not that there was much left down there after the Civil War. This is modern times. People get tired of that kind of stuff. They take exception to it when somebody comes in and disturbs the ground. Well, other than that, though, he claims there's a problem with the county, the commissioners, the sheriff's department, the court system. The whole council had to be turned upside down before he was happy. And then one got in that he didn't want, and he's still griping about that one. I wonder what this guy really likes, because he talked about the collabs. He would never do them. He don't like them. And yet all those people that he did collabs with and helped him in his trade, he's left behind. I don't quite understand it, but hey, listen, the people who listen to him know. I just don't. I never quite caught on to what he means. But I know there's a destructive trail behind him, and there's one in front of him he's trying to destroy. We're talking about a neighbor dispute that turned into a worldwide sideshow, soap opera, all those things. Keep everybody happy. Get a video out there. Get 100 people out there producing video, just like I am. A lot of money being made off from that little drama. Although he says he don't make anything off from it. He does it because he's got this little, he started this little thing about a young girl that he thinks is being taken advantage of in some way or a manner, in treatment or living conditions or anything else. I grew up without running water. We had an outside john out there that we went to. We had a pump. We pumped water that was outside, not inside. We had the best thing we had was an ice box. You put real ice in it. Yeah, I'm old enough for all that stuff. This little girl has a lot better than I did in living conditions, and she's being taken advantage of. Oh my goodness sake! What about some of you, the rest of you guys? Any of you my age understand what I'm talking about? Woo-wee. You know, I hate it when somebody tells me I can't talk about something that I see out there. I hate that. You know, the 3 years I put in for my country don't count. They don't count for our Constitution. Are you telling me that? Sir, did you put any time for your country? Did you spend any time in the military? What do you know about us guys that did that? Stood up for our Constitution and our flag. We believe in God and our country, our families. You think I'm going to turn my back on any of that? You got another thought coming. And for you out there on the West Coast that let your dominions come in there and talk about other veterans that don't know me from Adam. Thank you, sir. You showed me what your true meanings are. You and I don't have the same opinion about what's going on. And you're thinking I don't have a right to my opinion. I don't exactly think you're for the veterans in any way. And I'm beginning to wonder if you care about our country and our Constitution. Because does it only apply to one side, or can you see both sides? Or do you believe in equal or equality in our legal system so that both are created, so that they both have a chance to tell their story? Do you? I doubt it. You see, the guy that you're backing up holds a piece of paper up on there and says, this person does not know how to fill out a piece of paper. Can't do it. Look at it. Look at this. And then he goes on to tell you his people are going to come in there and I'm going to bury this person. They don't know. They don't stand a chance. His is the only word. He's the only one right. You heard one side of the story, and his people that follow him tell you that same side. And the fact that the Department of Travel Service has been there 27 times now, and you don't care because you think that they're corrupt in some manner, that they're not doing their job. 27 times they've been there. There was a conversation where this girl can sing the alphabet very well, and I don't know if you can or not, but I doubt it. Surprise me and try it. This little girl was interacting with her mother, and they were having a good time. They were laughing and carrying on a normal conversation. Tell me, what is wrong with that? Oh, by the way, they do have a sewer system out there, and they have water. And they have a building out there that's called a barndominium. It has a concrete floor in it. It's a brand new building. It hasn't finished inside yet. They've been working on it. As they have money, they put it into that place. They're going to have a nice place there sometime. This is a better building than what's on that guy that you're talking about, the creator has on his place. His buildings are falling down. His was nothing more than a camp when he bought it. Oh yeah, that's right. His girlfriend is living there. She's fixing up. But wait a minute, is she staying in the schoolhouse now? He had a bunch of friends down there, and they were all pooping in a bucket when they were down there because his system wasn't working very well. They couldn't put that many people into the sewer. Oh yeah, he has the right to tell you about that woman and tell you that there's no sanitation system in there. But they have running water in there. I didn't have that when I was a kid. Oh yeah. Yep. I understand. Yeah, you know so much. You let somebody or people there pick on me, go ahead. That's your channel, If you look at my channel, people who come on there, they just talk, and they're pretty nice about it. And they may make a remark about somebody, but they don't get into name calling. And they know better. I keep it as clean as I can. I believe in God, my country, and my family. That's the trifecta for me. It's too bad you don't have that same thing. You know, I guess I've never talked about a vet till just this minute. You know, I belonged to the American Legion for a lot of years. I attended the bar there. I worked all the events that we had, the smokers we had. I never once said anything nasty about another vet, and I never got into it with one of them in that American Legion. And you know, our big thing was our bar there. I understand that. We'd go in there and have a few beers after work or whenever we had some time off. Maybe the veterans of today are changed from what they were when I got out. But we had each other's back then. And we didn't let others go in there and do the name calling. We had plenty of them out there, protesters, when I got home. People that hated our guts, but they didn't come into our territory and they didn't talk to us and say those nasty things. We didn't allow it. But if you feel like doing it that way, then you do it. You don't personally know about that child, and neither do I, and yet you're going to allow people to do that. And on my channel, I keep it clean. I don't let people go out there and talk about you. I try to keep them away from disparaging anybody. I put my ideas out about things. I do not like, I'm more of the person that I'm going to help the underdog if I can. I don't spit on people because they're in the gutter. I don't kick them when they're in the gutter. I do everything I can to make sure they get up and can do their thing. A lot of our veterans are out there homeless on the street. What are you doing about it? You get your fat butt back there behind the thing there, and you let other people attack people like me. I put my time in. I'm entitled to my opinion. Just because it's opposing, you're going to let somebody go after me? Yeah, thank you. If you want real proof, you come over to Two Peas in a Pod. Quit talking about them. Midtown's best. The young man, he's trying to do his best, and he brings documentation and witnesses to his channel. Psychobabble rap. Listen to him. He goes back a long ways with that creator out there that seems to have your ear. He can tell you the real thing from the very beginning to the date today. The real story. He can give you the facts. He can tell you where to get the documentation. Yeah, I seen your intervention or your interaction with Bruce, the lawyer. I just happened to come across it the first time that I actually looked at your channel and looked at what it was like, and boy, I am disgusted. See, my dad, he fought in World War II. He was a Navy man. He's been at the unknown soldier at the tomb there. He actually presented a wreath up there before he died because he was honored. He was friends with the ship's captain till the day he died. I learned a lot from my father, at least about country, how I should act. And he was worried about his country. He told me, he said, watch it. He says, it's not changing for the better. This was back in the 60s before I ever went into service. Well, for the rest of you out there, do me a favor. Go ahead and watch Midtown's Best, Super Dave. He brings life to the channel. He's a young man. He's doing a very good job. Two Peas in a Pod. Go over there and watch that if you will. Give him a thumbs up. Subscribe. Psychobabble rap. I hope I got that right. Go to his channel. I really get a kick out of him. He knows what he's talking about. He goes back, way back to our creator's beginning out there of when he was early days of the buying lockers. People out there are talking about people's backgrounds on both sides. And it was started by one side. That creator down there in that little southern town. The Yankee from the north. Come down to teach those good old boys. Everybody's corrupt down there, I guess. At least by his inclination. I don't believe that for a minute. I lived down in the south a lot of years. I can tell you, some of the little towns I was in, you'd been crab bait if you said too much down there, the way you're doing it down there. Your money wouldn't buy you a lot of places. Wouldn't buy you much down there. I can tell you. I spent a lot, like I said, I spent a lot of time down south. I know what it's like. I love it down there. Well, to all my subs, I'm glad you put up with me. Today wasn't my best day because I was upset because of what these people think that they can get out there and just babble on about things they don't know. They put words in your mouth. They come on there, they don't like it because I smile, they don't like my laugh, they think I'm talking down to them. If they just stand up, I wouldn't talk down to them, I guess, because it has to be a physical thing, it can't be a mental thing. They think I'm too senile or too stupid to be able to say too much, so there's no way I can talk down to them unless I'm standing over them. Gee, what a bunch of people out there. You know, you are who you are around, so go ahead. Follow that son again down a rabbit hole. See what it gets you. Some of us good old boys, we were real men back when men wore a uniform and stood up for our country. We stood up for each other too. We didn't listen to a bunch of rabble from people that don't even know what it's like. Oh, what a bunch. I'm glad the people who choose on my channel know how to talk decent, and they've got God in their heart. They use Christ as their Savior. But even those that don't have a religion, that have the good morals, my hats are off to you. Good people are just that. If you don't have the rest of it out there, you don't have to have it all to be a friend of mine. I just want you to be a good person and act like a good person. Our country deserves better than what it's getting out of us. Let's stand together. You know, if we spend as much time and money on that poor woman out there that's getting beat up by everybody that's around this other guy, she could stand up and hold her head up high, the property would look better. And if all that things didn't work, then you could take and put this person, if it's jail it takes, or if it's a mental hospital or something like that, then you can do that. But people that, when this guy holds up a piece of paper and says she can't even fill out a form, we are going to take her apart. She's not smart enough to fill this form out. What does that tell you about the guy that's going to bring everything he's got down on this person? The dragon attacking the fly. For that, thank you all the subscribers that come to my channel. God bless you. It's a pleasure interacting with you. And the fact that you can sit down here and talk without calling people names. And you are different than most of the channels out there, I can tell you. If you don't believe me, you can look at a few of them and see how they're interacting with each other and how much hate is in their heart. It's not good. That will tear you up. It'll make a bad person out of you. Get that hate out. Chase it out. Pretend like it's a bunch of demons. Ask them out. Push them out. Ask the Lord to help you if you need it. The Lord will help you on all those counts. You have a blessed day and come back for more if you can. I'll try to keep it from being so obnoxious. See you later.